My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Monster Train 2, where we're going to be playing Echowright for the first time. Whoa! It's him! It's the boy! We also have Echo Break as our spell. 1 ember to deal 1 damage per echo to a target. A little bit more control over dealing damage to backline targets, something that we were otherwise doing with the Decay line of the Spine Chief. Aqua's Reservation's going to give us 3 ember on suggestion it do so once per battle. Chosen of Entropy, of course, requires that we're going to have the ability to take out backline enemies. Echo Break could do that, but so could Hosting Kin. A Fleshweaver and a Kale in the base deck. We've also got 2 overworked assistants here with Reanimate and Incant, gain Unstable 4. Interesting. And a Pincushion with no weapons in the deck at all. Tough. We'll see how that goes. Ooh, give me the jack strips, please. It's been a long time since I've had those, and they're especially good in the Chosen of Entropy fight. Specifically because the Shattered Souls that have Spell Shield to 12 damage and 1 health just ascend and immediately die. The Repeater. On resolve, return a random consume spell to your hand, or the Shellsmith. On Etch, which is when you consume a spell, apply 5 armor to friendly units. So consume, when we play a mixture, that does not count as a card that consumes, even though it removes itself from the deck. So that's not going to be an etch, that's not going to be repeatable. Turn a random consume spell to your hand. Merchant of Steel Wormkin, I would really like to go in the etch direction here. Echowright's 2 size, so if we saw First of Kin on Etch, I think in the first game, I think it was Etch gain 15 damage. Sorry, Etch gain 5 damage, and I think it's Etch gain 15 now. Obviously, future lines of the Repeater, one imagines, give you more random consume spells back to your hand, which is effectively draw, right? If at the end of the turn you are populating your hand with spells, your next hand has more cards in it, it's draw. So maybe we can take the Repeater line and then move in the direction of going for energy and capacity, bypassing draw, using Echowright as our source of draw. Now, this is also still a push in the Etch direction. Both of those effectively synergize with a deck that's mainly using Etch. The only thing is, oh, baby, the Mark of Invasion for free? Thank you, Jackstrips. Oh, you gotta love that. Pincushion's not going to get any permanent stats this this fight, at least. Oh, Persistent. Cannot be discarded for any reason, and is not discarded at the end of the turn. Neat. Oh, boy. I think I'm going to need Goliath's Infusion to give us additional damage to actually be able to take out the boss. And then just let him go. Ooh, those jack strips. Definitely got to double up on the infusions again. Lifesteal or damage shield? I'm going to go lifesteal so that I can equip it onto the steward in the front line. Now Hosting Kin has come back from last turn. The enemy is coming in with no damage, so additional stacks of lifesteal don't really help us. There we go. I love Bounding Echo so much. I just wish it was infused here. Bogfly with infused already on it, admittedly, is quite nice. And I do have to say, I think there's a lot of value in me overstacking a floor right now, so I think I will just take you for additional damage. Oh, hello, Twisted Assistant. Although I do appreciate the bruise here, Twisted Assistant with the Twisted Trample back. It's pretty hard to ignore the power of that. Oh, okay, large smidge. Come on. First of kin. Boom! That's the first of kin, baby. 2 Ember, 3 size on etch, gain plus 15 damage. 45-55 stat line by base. Ooh, guess who's getting large small? It's you, first of kin. That's right. I also want to give Reanimate 1 to one of the Bogfly assistants. Sorry, not the Bogfly assistants. One of the Overworked assistants. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with that in the future, but I do want to leave the opportunity open. Fire dampener, -1 energy per turn. Could be worse. So it's probably going to be First of Kin, Pincushion, and Echowright on the same floor, and then eventually we flow Bog down. Lurking Miscreants kind of want me to fight on the bottom floor, but also Lurking Miscreants and the Savage Spearmen will both die by the time they ascend to the second floor, so I think I can save myself a huge amount of damage by just setting up here. Granted, I'll have to take 1 curse a turn to do so. Unless I bypass it by killing the enemy. Actually, hang on. I might as well use the Overworked Assistant. There's no reason for me not to be using them. Okay, good. I etched a card on that first turn, so now... Perfect. I've got some etches going on. Plus 30 damage for the First of Kin. Bogfly goes on top floor, then flies down with ease. I guess the alternative... Oh, no. Wait, I was about to say the alternative was playing out the Calcified Ember, but no, I just have Aqua's Reservation to be able to do that. And also, I don't have the Ember to do it without. Yeah, I can throw a Blast Infusion on the bottom line. We're definitely going to win on the next floor anyway, but I might as well get the Twisted Assistant as well. Yeah, so Pincushion's very much not thinking, not looking like a long-term play in this deck. Oh, although I could have given it plus 3/+3 permanently exactly that turn. I forgot that I could have done that. Return Soul. 0 Ember Distinct. Return a spell from your discard pile to your hand. Apply Infused and Consume. Ooh. That allows me to turn a card in the middle of battle into a Consume card, allowing that to then be something that Echowright can pull back for me. I think that has a lot of value. Explosive Reaction, Potion Kit, and Overworked Assistant. I'll take Potion Kit. It's infused at least. Celestial Alcove, Merchant of Arms. I do like the idea of going for the Merchant of Arms here. Reanimation Lab. Friendly units gain 7/7 when they are summoned or reanimated. It's also Equalizing Rings. Units damage always equal to its max health. That buffs First of Kin until First of Kin is played like 3? Yeah, until First of Kin has played 3 consume cards. That's a buff. Void Armament. Generally pretty damn good, to be honest. I think with Void Armament, we have enough damage for First of Kin to win, like, the next fair few fights just by itself. Don't think I can afford to really buy anything else here. Reanimated Lab, in a world, maybe, where I'm throwing a bunch of overworked assistants on the bottom line and I'm giving them a bunch of Reanimate. I still don't even know if that's something that I feel appropriate. Deployable Potion Kit isn't bad, but if I dupe the First of Kin, immediately I'm using all of my Ember for that, so will I ever be playing the Potion Kit deployably? Or do I just play it on Pincushion at the start of each battle and then eventually remove Pincushion from the deck? I think before deciding this, we'll see what the Alcove has to say. Oh. That's a weird thing to say, Alcove. Quilling Catcher, at the end of the battle, gain 100 gold. That's very early. That's actually as early as it possibly can be. Nim's Oath, at the start of battle, apply Dazed 1 to an enemy on a random floor. To enemy at the front of a random floor, rather. And Wallow's Bloodletter. The additional damage is nice. Killing my Twisted Assistant immediately is nice. The fact that Echowright would die in 10 turns, significantly lesser. Yeah, I'm going Quilling Catcher. I think it's been a very long time since I've made a Quilling. I even think I titled the last episode that I had Quilling Catcher making a Quilling, and I'm pretty sure I made a lot of money and then someone killed me. The title usually tries to reference 2 things at the same time. Or at least, I'm most satisfied when the title references 2 things at the same time. Nah, I'm saving my money. I mean, Forgotten Boons, I didn't know that was there, but the Forgotten Boons, 100 from Quilling Catcher, the Fleshweaver fight, I think we go to the Merchant of Trinkets, and although the Merchant of Steel on the other side literally has the Empyrean Well next to it, which is exactly what I need, the First of Kin. Oh, but there's a Merchant of Steel with an Empyrean Well next to it in the next line as well. Okay. That'll do. Yeah, I was pretty sure they had lurking miscreants that we could remove like this. Return soul. Okay, we're going to be using Aqua's Reservation on turn 1 here. This is wild. Twist Assistant. We'll Echo Break my own Twisted Assistant to get the Twisted back. I'll give the Twisted back to First of Kin. Then, Potion Kit the Pincushion. Play Returned Soul to get back the Echo Break, which now has Consume on it, giving me the ability to consume on this floor, gain 15 damage on the First of Kin, and I'll have a Consume card coming back into my hand next turn. Also pull this from the Pincushion. I do need to start getting rid of Fleshlings, so this is 2 Fleshlings we get to carve off the Fleshweaver immediately. One of them is positioned to go to the Pyre, but as long as I deal 2 damage to it, it dies with the Jackstrips. So we already have that 2 damage on lock. And here I think we just minimize incoming damage. I really do think that the Fleshweaver should be taking damage to jackstrips. It's moving between floors. If it had a shift trigger, it would be triggering it every time it moves. I'll give the Void Armament to Echowright in the backline. It's a lot of additional damage on this floor. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it because Echowright will then start gaining corruption, and it's possible I actually do lose Echowright before the end of the battle by doing that. That's okay. Rage, looking for lifesteal as an upkeep for Burst of Kin. That'll do. I think sapping the boss probably ends up being a good idea at some point. I was wondering where the Bogfly is. It's at the very bottom of the deck. Okay, Fleshweaver did take jackstrips on that final turn as it moved down for the Relentless phase. Okay, was it taking jackstrips the entire time, or it never took jackstrips and it just happened to take jackstrips then? I don't know which is the case, just because of how everything's gone. I mean, thankfully we are far beyond this being a problem. And we have no permanent benefits to worry about, so yeah, I can just let the Echo Kin finish up that turn. Scrap for parts. Infuse, consume, sacrifice. Draw unit, apply plus 40 damage, and 0 to its cost. There's also double-edged breaker for getting multi-strike on a unit. Maybe a significantly better way to do that than Void Armament. And in terms of equipment, we also have the Combustion Suit. On strike, apply unstable 5 to enemy units. So Scrap for parts isn't particularly appealing because a lot of the time it'll draw out cards that I don't really care about their damage stat. It's got to be Double-Edged Bearer, especially given the fact that I'm likely running a sacrificial bottom line. It's infused as well. See, the problem is I really like this and I really want to use this. But, like, I have no setup for it at the moment. If we're doing anything with the Verse of Kin, we just dupe the one that we already have, because it's already one size. Saves us capacity rune to do so. So what would our floor be? It'd be like first of kin, Echowright, kinhost vessel. The first of kins are initially quite powerful. The kinhost vessel just takes all of our additional gems until we shell hatch. It's not like I'm using Reap, so I don't need the gems to stay on the floor for anyone other than Bogfly, but Bogfly doesn't really care about it either. Alright, I'm taking kinhost vessel. We'll figure out how to use it. I think here it has to be energy. So that the dupe of the first of kin is a lot easier to do. Because I'll be doing that in 2 lines' time. Hell yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Bog Slime. When a spell with Consumer's Blade, gain 1 echo. So that's going to give us all of the echoes for our consume floor, which is then going to break out the kinhost. Friendly units gain armor 14 on reviving with reanimate. Not particularly important to me. Catalyzing agent, the end of turn. Unstable increases by 5. Also not that relevant. Yeah, I guess. Trader's Quill. When a card with Consumer's Blade, deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit. Okay. Let's look at the alcove as well. Oh, no. The Red Crown and 2 followers. Okay, there's actually something kind of disgusting we can do here. And if we give this to Pincushion, every time I play you, you gain +3/+3 permanently. All I have to do is keep playing you on the bottom line, because I'm running a sacrificial bottom line anyway. There you go, Pincushion. Checking again with Lightforge. Ooh. Add a random consume spell to your hand and apply -1 to its cost. Or the Shellsmith line on etch, apply armor 5 to friendly units. I think we have to diversify into that line. I think that's exactly the 2 lines that we want to be straddling. I also think that given the Merchant of Steel is our priority in the next area, just checking my assumption that that's the case. It's probably the case. I'll take this opportunity to remove 1 Spear Steward. I still need to keep the density of infused cards in this deck, and consume cards in this deck, relatively high. Enemies enter with Titan Skin 4. Really annoying, unfortunately, because the Profane Supplicants are going to ascend without dying. I also don't really want to fight on floor 2 here if I can avoid it. It's not like the enemies do that much damage. So they're not going to consistently kill Pincushion anyway. Which means Pincushion doesn't even get that much endless. Alright. I think we have to set up on the bottom here. Hell yeah, Pincushion. Okay. I'm gonna Echo Break, Return Soul, Echo Break. Aquas gives us the Calcified. Perfect. And unstable for the backline enemy so that I get it removed. Pincushion, you just immediately eat the Shield Steward and become 15/15 larger. And now we should have consistent consumption going on. And that's the kinhost vessel breaking out this turn. Oh boy. Quick twisted back. There we are. Double-edged bearer! Eat the double-edged bearer! Now, let's give the additional multi-strike to Echowright, I suspect. Gotta remember to consume on the bottom line. Oh! And there's no way I'm missing that collector. I gotta say, it's some very good bog slime. The best bog slime I've ever had. I mean, given that it's another boss in just a second, I think I'm just going to give the +6/+6 permanently to Pincushion. There's no way we don't win on this bottom line here. Yeah. Get him! Extract 3 to retreat and daze 2. There's a Wormkin Spike for the Reap as well, and Ancient Resonance deal 8 damage to enemy units per Echo. And it's got an Echo on it. Reanimation Lab? Replicate Array, remove equipment from friendly unit, copy the units. I mean, Pincushions are 24/24 now. I probably don't end up removing Pincushion from this deck. Getting a second copy of Echowright, my boy. My boy Echowright, my boy. That'd be really good. It's an additional card each turn and an additional etch trigger. And it's an overstack, and it's a consume card, so I might get it back. Oh, it's a consume card, so I might get it back. I'll put enough consume cards in the deck. As long as I don't see it like more than 3 times a battle, I'm okay. Merchant. Oh, God, I do have good money. A Merchant of Trinkets would love to see me. I do still think Merchant of Steel, though. Annoyingly as well, it's specifically to dupe the Etch, the First of Kin. The Etch of Kin. Titanite Pincushion? I mean, you will never die. That's pretty good. You could also give additional damage to followers that can stand behind you. Yeah. I don't think 20 health is anyone's particular favorite here. Reroll. Quick. I mean, the quick's got to be the kinhost vessel, right? I also like giving you +5 damage per echo. And then... another reanimate on an overworked assistant. Final thing here being a removal of a spear steward. Ooh. Ooh, Swift Steel Dagger with Enchanted Quick. Organ Harvest for Slay Game Reanimate. Ooh, I'm not going to tell you it's bad. Unfortunately, the unstable deaths coming out of an overworked assistant are not attributed to the overworked assistant, so it's not particularly good in this deck either. I will take the Swift Steel. I'm also going to do the Bursterkin, as I had mentioned earlier. I think there's also a play here where you do the Pincushion instead. And then, I'm even going to go as far as removing another card from this deck and getting a Shield Steward out of here. I'm leaning towards Merchant of Arms in the next area exclusively to hit an Unstable Vortex. That's got to be wrong, right? I haven't been to a Merchant of Magic yet. I literally have no upgrades on my spells. Yeah, I can make a couple more of these spells consume. So I should be able to set up on floor 2 in this fight. Ooh, Mage Blade. And play those infusions on the next floor, just for the sake of the kinhost vassals. Yay! All of these vicious axe throwers die before they ascend. Oh my god. No, wait, I can't. No, wait, I can. Okay. Double-edged Bearer. Hit you with an Echo Break. Double-edged Arms for Echowright. Oh boy, that's great. Aqua's Reservation. Give me a second Echowright for that floor, please. Now I just need to consume a different card. Annoyingly, I can give Reanimate to the Collector, I just can't kill it twice. Wait, no, I played a follower on the bottom line this turn? Okay, never mind, I can collect some additional gold this turn. Follower go top line. Then... Seeky and Greedy, Seeky and Greedy... Now I get... Reanimate, and then I kill you 2 times. $75 more gold out of that one. So many of my consume spells are like at the very bottom of my deck right now. It's really concerning. I say so many of my consume spells. There's 2 of my consume spells and a spell that makes other spells consume. Still, I wanted them earlier. Okay, let's bring back Secret Ingredient so that I consume that, and then I can have that come back next turn as well. Oh, and a Fogfly on top line flies down here. Finally back to having multiple consume cards in a turn. Yeah, I mean, they were producing decent stacks of Titan skin off this guy. Get him, follower. Alright, already winning this lore. We'll go for the best permanent gains we can get out of this, and that's playing a pincushion on the top line. Recognizing that pincushion's about to die and there's nothing else I can do about it, so then we just run a couple more etches. And that'll do it. Yeah, it's got to be spells. Ooh. Wormkin etchings, 2 Ember consume, return 5 consume spells to the top of your draw pile. I love the idea of that. The only problem is I don't consume enough spells for that to happen, but also I'm intentionally going to try and go in that direction. Surgical Strike, Piercing, deal 4 damage, Slay, add a copy with Ephemeral to your hands. I mean, if I gave that Consume, I'd be able to use it to occasionally slay enemies that get up to that floor, maybe. Risky Operation, both infused but also lifesteal. Lifesteal has really low value here, actually. I'm mainly defending with armor. Yeah, I'm gonna skip these, actually. Yeah, I will. I think the easier way to sell me on a Merchant of Magic is to tell me what I'm going to be duping there. So what am I gonna be duping there? Doesn't look... It's got to be a spell, right? A spell that I super upgrade. Intrinsic -1 is huge. I definitely want something that consumes. Something that applies infused and consume, so as long as I draw another spell in first turn, this then gives that consume, allows it to come back to hand, gives it infuse as well. I like the idea of that. Yeah, I'll give a little additional damage to a hosting kin. Lower the cost of the Ancient Resonance. Beautiful. So removing Consume from something should be something I don't want to cycle through the deck multiple times. And I can even give Consume to something else, but nothing else really... I mean, Ancient Resonance actually would have been a really good pick for that. Actually... Plus 20 damage Ancient Resonance. Yeah. And now it has Consume. I'm going to do it. Etching is now 0 cost, doesn't consume. I'm going to get a second Ancient Resonance to start rumbling through this deck. Should probably cut one of the followers as well. We're also coming up on the point where I should decide to cut the Overworked Assistants. I'm currently still leaving open the possibility that they might be useful in the future, but it's getting less likely. So So considering we're fighting Kale, we do want to set up on the bottom line. Actually, Kale will set up on the top line. I have a unit anyway. I'll put pin cushion on the second line. Just so we can help finish off units. Perfect. Ancient Resonance. Then secret ingredient gets us rage. I'm going to return the secret ingredient to hand with consume. I'm going to consume it to gain some damage shields. Okay. Then play Wormkin Etching to put both of those back atop the deck. Actually, one of them was just going to be given to me for free. I mean, in some sense, I'm doing this because I want to get the kinhosts to hatch this turn if I can. So I'll prioritize that, I think. Still just etch trigger. Etch trigger. I'm gonna be one short no matter what, I think. It's okay though, at least I knew I was getting the additional resonance this turn. Hang on. I'm gonna give the Twisted back to Kinhost, who's gonna hatch with it. This one, I'll give Swiftsail Dagger to Echowright, so I'm ready to dupe you when it gets given to me as an option. Good candies. Yeah, I do want to give one stack of lifesteal to our frontliner. Oh, I don't even get to attack because the Kinhost Beaver has Quick and Trample. There's that Ray. Second Echo Smith, please. Out. There's a bunch of different ways I want to change the way I play that turn. Second Echo Smith, absolutely. That's always going to happen. Do need to play Ancient Resonance and Hosting Kin to really get the best out of this turn. And screw it. I'll save one Ember. I'm gonna leave that bogfly on the top floor until Kale goes up to it, and then I'm gonna fly it away. It's not like it's needed on the bottom line. Also, Echowright the third, please. We've done it. We've reached the 7-unit limit. To pull a card without consume back to my hand, right? Wait, how did this ever get discarded? Must have overfilled my hand on one turn or something. There you go, bunch of range. There you go, full 5 put atop the deck from Wormkin Etchings. But I could have gotten 3 of them for free at the end of the turn. Okay, I'm starting to feel like maybe Wormkin Etchings was not a great idea in this deck. I felt like I was going to get a density of consume spells that would ask for it, but I'm not feeling like that at the moment. Accelerated incubation is nice, but unnecessary. Entirely, we hatch on the first or second turn consistently without it. This would have to have Intrinsic to have any relevance. Mix-a-lot, eh? Yeah! It's gotta be draw? Right, for the first couple of turns. I definitely don't need capacity. I'm bypassing that in so many ways. I'm flying units down. I'm duping units who are on the floor. No, this in some respects is how quickly can you get to your busted card. Minion upgrades don't look especially good for me at the moment, so I will go Merchant of Arms. Ball of Mirrors. No, I don't think it can be Hall of Mirrors, right? Best case scenario, it gets me a second Bogfly, which I then fly down to a floor that cares about it? No. Stokeplate Mail, our frontliners do have triggers that they care about. Enchanted Chamber also no. I don't really get additional capacity to be able to do any of these things. I don't think any of these are relevant to me. I think maybe the closest is 2-2-1. No, that still isn't. Making a deployable weapon was my other consideration there, but I'd need additional deployment ember for it to even be relevant. Do I save all of my money for a big Merchant of Trinkets and Merchant of Magic? I think the answer is yes. I'm just not. Yes, I have a unit that has a mini zone on it. No, that unit is not on a line where it will ever see additional capacity, so Growth Carapace doesn't do anything there. I don't want to merge equipment because I want the individual equipment in the deck so that I can actually split them out to units. Yeah. What's up? Return a random consume spell to your hand and apply -1 to its cost. Yes, please. Gonna make it so much easier to play him. Boiler room? Yeah. Well, speaking of making things easier to play, open a boiler room on the bottom line certainly does. Okay, just in case, I am going to make boiler room deployable just in case I get additional deployment ember from an artificial pyre stone as a relic in the next area. No boss enemies. I should be fighting them on the bottom floor anyway. Loamy. Alright. Drop a boiler room here, and then hosting kin moves the Vow Gladiator back. The Trader's Quill then does 30 damage to the Rage Wing in the back line, killing it immediately, giving my energy back to me. Then I'm going to Mix-a-Lot and return the Mix-a-Lot Soul, giving it Consume. Then I'm going to Aqua's Reservation and Mix-a-Lot again. Regen, Reanimate, and Spikes. I'll hold on to you with 3 Reanimate until I see a... Oh, the Spikes is going to be annoying, though. So I've got 2 cards consumed here. I could put them both atop the deck. Or I could just let Echowright bring one back, which is probably the right choice. Yeah, I want the negative cost added to Mix-a-Lot. There we go. It applies -1 to the cost, so when I throw this back and then it gets brought back again, it will come back as 1 cost. Oh, those ancient resonances. Be so good. I'm trying to hold on to a Madman Infusion for something I don't even know if I'm going to be able to use effectively. There it is. Madman Infusion. We've got an Overworked Assistant who's ready to die multiple times. Okay. Yes, we'll be leaking a Vow Gladiator. That was already a bit of a foregone conclusion. Okay, hell yeah. We get all of the 400 additional gold out of that collector. That's all I wanted. Thank heck. This about Gladiator is an annoyance. Wish I had more that I could do about it. Restores its way back to a full health when it goes up. Which means it'll take most of our remaining health. You end up on the top line with 500 health. You get to hit me 5 times. Which is 45 damage, so I end up with 4 health left over. That's not good. That's certainly not what we want to see. You're missing 50. You're about to take another 80. So 130, you fully heal. So I need to do 21 more damage for you not to full heal that. And I need to do 121 more damage to save myself 9 health. Pyramanes would restore 29 health, which means Seraph would be fine, but then the fight against Titans would be tough. I wouldn't really be able to take any additional damage in the Titan fight after that. Sadly, a single sap doesn't change anything. Ouch. Alright. Ancient Resonance. We're doing well. We'll be able to scale on past them, I bet, rather. Oh. Void Armament and Replicate Array. We've now got the 3rd Echowright. Get ready to give a bunch of melee weakness to the boss when it spawns in. I'll take the rage, bring that back, play it again, get that lifesteal. And that'll keep our front liner comfy. I'm not thrilled to leave this fight on 4 health either. Let's be clear about that. It's not what I would have chose to have done. Alas. Soul Siphon consume. Fill empty slots with Ember. With Echoes. And apply Emptying 1 to friendly units. Wormkin Spike. Not half bad on that bottom line at some points. Reasonable for the whole consume situation as well. And Revenge of the Damned. I'll take that spike, actually. Oh. Yeah, Replicator Ray should be infused. I don't need a second copy of it in the deck. That much? Not relevant, but should be infused. Exos cards or cards that cost 3 or more have Permafrost. I mean, yeah, keeping the Replicator Ray until the right time, the Void Armament, a couple other things. When equipped unit dies, permanently add 4 damage to their equipment. No, not how I deal with equipment. And at the end of the entire Battle Purge card, that'll allow me to purge 1 card for less than purging a card costs. Obviously with some delay. Yeah, give me a 0-cost equipment, and also give me Armor and Rage when I equip someone. Holdover Return Soul allows me to consistently consume. It's exactly the kind of thing I need. I'll double stack the Wormkin Spike all day. Plus 20 magic power and consume. Throw it on an Echo Break. Make it 1 cost. Ooh, I'll have Mix-a-Lot. Yeah, Mix-a-Lot's the one that I'm going to want to try and bring back consistently. Negative 2 cost gain consume. Okay. I don't really want 2 Replicator Rays consuming, cycling through the deck. So I think the rest of this is got to be removing units that don't actually contribute. So sorry, Overworked Assistants. Took you along for the ride with the understanding that maybe you'd be better in the future, and that future just did not happen. I'll also take the Crown of the Eternal, because why not? So ideally I set up on the 2nd floor here. I do really like the idea of Titanite top floor, but also Boiler Room's really important because we'll get so much energy. Every turn when the enemies ascend, they die on this floor to Jackstrips. Perfect. Replicator Ray on very first turn? Yes, please. I'm also going to use Aqua's Reservation. A secret ingredient is then going to give us... sure, unstable. I'll fish for that secret ingredient back from Return Soul, then I'll consume it. Okay. Then I'll pincushion the bottom line. I also really want both Twisted Assistant and Double-Edged Bearer. Kind of hard to get everyone, though. I think I go with Twisted Assistant first so I can scale the damage of the kinhost. And then I'll give you Blast Infusion so you die at the end of the turn, giving you the weapon at the start of the next. Oh, the energy. Okay. Then we mix a lot. Great. I'll Void Armament and then Replicate Array another Echowright. So now we're giving 3 random consume spells to our hand with a -1 cost applied to it at the end of each turn. And every time we play a consume spell, we give all of our units 15 armor. I have to play the Replicate Array, even if it brings back a card that I know I can't consume. Yeah, these Replicate Arrays are going to be a problem. Not only are they permafrost, I also can't get goddamn rid of them. I play them and they come back. I don't play them and they stay. Get a second copy of the unit. It's endless, so it doesn't really change anything. But I really do need to free up cards in hand. Oh my god, the additional copy of it came out and then equipped an equipment because it saw itself coming out onto the field and was like, oh, I don't have equipment? Give me. Cool. Yeah, do it again then. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, all the fun you can have with Replicate Array. There you go, do it again. Now this one's got a glass cannon. I can't take any damage in any form, so Curse of Entropies are going to have to be played. Oh, a pincushion on the top line. That's lovely to see. I mean, I can bring back the same Replicate Array and do the same thing again. I'm not going to, though. I just could, okay? Alright, now. Who wants to hear some resonance? That's for what we can pull out of here. Guess melee weakness 7 will do. Then Wormkin Spike for 72 Reap on someone. And how many candies have got on this floor? 14, so 14 by 72 damage to the Avowed Gladiator at the end of the turn. Yeah. That spike just goes for the bottom. Yeah, screw it. I think now I have a density of consume cards in the deck. I finally managed to get a density of consume card in the deck where I will play Wormkin Etchings. Perfect. As many consume spells as I can play, and then I'm going to get them a lay weakness as high as I can play. Yeah. Alright. Oh, 15 times damage from the first of kin is enough to get him. Hell yeah. Oh, man. I kind of want to remove another copy of the Replicator Ray, but also I don't. Because it still feels possible that I end up in a situation where I don't get the Replicator Ray for too long, and I really do need to in my deck. I think Bogfly is like far beyond actual use. At least the rest of the spells, even if they're garbage, I can make them consume. I've got a holdover Intrinsic consume card. Or apply consume card. The earlier I get a second Shellsmith out on the board, though. Shellsmith? No, Echowright. Shellsmith is your other line, the one that I did not even see once this run. I don't think there's any amalgams. I don't think we have to deal with any amalgams on the bottom line for a while. Oh, but we have to deal with the boss on the bottom line. Dang. That's fine. I have to play Pincushion on the bottom line. I can't just forfeit 5 damage to Savagery in that round. Void Armament. I think it's frozen. I'll keep it. It could have been my Replicator Ray trigger. It wasn't, but it could have been. Oh, that's so good! Enfeebling, thank you! Sap. Lay weakness is fine then. Return Soul brings back a secret ingredient. That's melee weakness fine. I've got to keep sapping Dominion so that it doesn't deal 3 damage rounds. And I also need the double-edged bearer to give me its spell. It's equipment, rather. We didn't get Mix a lot this time, unfortunately. Nor Replicator Ray. So. Just gonna immediately use my Rage so that I can start trying to fish for... Nope. Missed it again, so... There we go. Continue fishing for sap. I have to use the additional energy this turn as well so that I can get Aqua's Reservations both into our consume cycle pool. Play the Pyrolite as well. Return soul. I mean, I'd love you to return something 0 cost. But that's just not going to happen. So next turn, Dominion starts showing damage again, so that's when I need to cut that out. There's that replicator ray we were hoping for. It's fine to leave the bottom line unattended this turn. I just have to play another unit there next turn. Return soul can still, again, just bring back a card to make it consumed. Wormkin etchings. Yeah. I think so. Very happy to see Mix-a-Lot get added back to the set. Okay. Ancient Resonance immediately solves most of the problems of that floor. I'm going to Secret Ingredient, finding Rage, give Rage out. Then Secret Ingredient, hoping to find... Missed it. Dang. Again, Rage and Damage Shield, that's tough. I don't think Return Soul Wormkin etchings makes any sense at this point. Still haven't even seen Boiler Room. Yeah, so it's the cardful version that dies. Great. I really need to get back to some sap to keep Dominion down. Okay, so a pincushion on top line defends against Savagery's 5 damage this turn, which is huge. Perhaps Wormkin matchings this turn is a good idea. We lose one of our firsts of kin. Then Ancient Resonance takes out all the rest of the enemies. Savagery is there. So Savagery is going to deal 5 damage to us on the bottom line this turn, but when you come up next turn, you will die. Dominion, you are a little less die at the moment. Great. Big old Mix-a-Lot. Now we've got some melee weakness for you. And some more sap. That's great too. I'll return Soul to bring back another secret ingredient to try and get more an effect going off. First off Pyrelite, then they hit you with a melee weakness, so that the larger amount of damage, because Pyrelite gives damage to the Pyre, so now the melee weakness is going to multiply the additional damage rather than playing in the other order. Right? No, because it gives the damage and then it does it anyway. Okay, so would have been fine. Whew. All right. I mean, look, things definitely got scary at the end there, but we did it. Oh, I'm so pleased. I've been a little embarrassed by the last couple of runs. Low-key, just a little bit embarrassed, but I put my thinking cap on today. I drank my caffeine an hour before starting to record, and here we are. On the right side of the Titans. Of course, we got ridiculous damage out of a first of kin and just big etches. 0 cost cycle Mix-a-Lot coming back with its realistically, this run is Reanimate Array. Sorry, Reanimate, Replicate Array. It is getting multiple Echowrights, and 3 Echowrights does not make a wrong. This card was also here. I gotta say, this definitely contributed positively in the end. I can see decks that might have like 1 or 2 consume cards and then are relying consistently on getting the same consume cards back from Echowright that would not particularly appreciate having Wormkin etchings placing those etches directly atop the deck instead. Get him! Actually, also, shout out to Bog Slime here, giving us the ability to hatch out the kinhost pupa with basically no effort involved at all. Whenever you play a consume spell, gain 1 echo. Get him! I'm also really pleased that we managed to, like, yeah, look, I don't like that we took, you know, what was it, 91 damage on the Seraph fight. I'm not thrilled about it. Well, it wasn't on the Seraph fight, it was on the fight before Seraph. Yeah. Not thrilled to have taken 91 damage there, but then also being able to identify, well, as long as I use my saps appropriately and I fill the floors appropriately, I can get through the Titan fight with just the amount of health I can get off of Higher Remains. Very, very pleased about that. And also for the final point, Jackstrips always does great work. Power of Knowledge. 2 Ember. Deal 20 damage for each consume spell. And Echo Seedling. First time each battle, a card with consumes played, add 2 copies to your hand. The idea of having this, Emot Tome, and, what's it called? It's from Under Legion. Is it like Mind Rot or something? I can't remember the name of it, but whenever you play your first consume card each battle, Hive Mind, I think it's called. Whenever you play your first consume card each battle, add a permanent copy of it to your hand. Or it says gain an additional permanent copy or something like that, but it adds it to your hand. So that emote tome and, get 4 additional copies back to your hand from playing the first one. Unearthed Remains, 2 Ember, consume, gain 1 empty Echo slot, and fill it. And then Keeper of Echoes, woo! I'm a big fan of this unit. I was especially a big fan of this unit, as I remember, from taking your buff and putting it in someone else. Because I don't like your body statistic, but your buff, especially when it used to be able to be infused into another unit in the divinity mechanics of Monster Train 1, as I recall, was particularly enjoyable. And something I did quite consistently. Here we've got another 7 cards getting gilded. Oh, the win streak's coming back alive. It's going to take me a while to really nut out the best practices for each of these classes consistently, and also then their combinations with the other classes. That said, we're moving in that direction as quickly as we possibly can by playing a bunch of runs of them. In the next run, and in the next video, I'm going to be headed back into the Rift Station, likely with Wormkin as our lead. I played Wormkin as the lead for the last 2 runs. I'll figure out what I'm doing then. You'll figure out what I'm doing then in the next episode. And you can find that in the series playlist if it's already out, or you can just subscribe to the channel and maybe you'll see what comes out.